Thanks for tuning in. Hi, I'm Kyla from HXGN TV. As mines push deeper beneath the surface for deposits, the need for better communication increases. Complexities that may be easier to overcome above ground, well, they require domain expertise and non-scalable, customized solutions below. HXGN Mine Operate UG Pro tracks machines, miners, and their shift level workflow, and that ensures that they are operating together as efficiently as possible. Today, we have with us Carl Brackpool. He is Product Management and Innovation, and he is from Hexagon Mining. And we're going to talk about UG Pro and the new solution that addresses a lot of the need for better communication as we go forward and collaboration underground. So welcome, Carl. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Kylie.
Okay, so let's talk about this. Mines have to look increasingly deeper to find mineral metal deposits. What challenges does this create for communications and also safety?
Well, I mean, it's obvious that we have a lot of products in the surface and mining space, surface and pit mines, and going underground with these technologies, we have a better position than anyone else to take those technologies underground with sometimes not even repurposing or modifying, we just use in that space. But you hit on the primary problem with going in an underground space, and that is getting communications from the surface to underground. Safety is always a bigger issue in underground because you can't see where people are.
Right.
And as we've said over and over again, we found everything that's close to the surface over the last 6,000 years since the Egyptians mined. Now we have to go deeper and deeper to find the same things that we need for copper, for our cell phones, for the wiring for our spaceships we want to take to Mars. And we're going to have to address these complexities of getting to communications through networking underground to find miners, make sure that they have the right tasks that they're doing, and know where machines are as we try to get closer and closer to a fully autonomous mine where there are no humans underground. But we're going to live in that space for a long time of semi-autonomous machines working around humans in an underground space.
Okay, so then let's talk about Hexagon introducing HXGN Mine Operate UG Pro. So how does that help mines address the challenges of, we're talking about things like fleet management and also production optimization?
Yeah, that's so excited, by the way. Today we launched this HXGN Mine Operate UG Pro, which is a mouthful, so we'll just call it UG Pro for the rest of this, and we'll be good. So UG Pro software does two primary things. It optimizes the tasks of the people working in those confined spaces, as well as finding the machines that are around them, knowing where those machines are. Just knowing where they are and localization is really important, but if you start thinking about the future where you have maybe 30 or 40 pieces of heavy equipment underground that may or may not be fully autonomous, and another 100 miners, it would be really great to know that if one miner is about to finish a task with one piece of machinery, can you redirect them quickly, or it automatically knows the next place in the mine they have to get to. And what they call transit time underground, which is the time to take a piece of machinery and go through maybe even multiple levels to get to the next working place, can take as long as an hour.
Right.
So if you can release a piece of machinery, send it someplace else, another piece of machinery slots in there, you've shaved minutes or even hours off of your schedule, and time is definitely money in mining, as you know.
Right, so logistics are just improved greatly when you have access to that information.
Logistics, safety, optimization, your energy consumption and fuel rate, you know where things are, making sure you turn the ventilation up or down, and ventilation is as much as 70% of your operational expense. So if you don't have miners working in a place, in a certain place today, you can turn the ventilation down. Right. That you need to survive.
So I mean, that brings me to UG Pro improving safety. I mean, that is a big reason for this, right?
Absolutely, and because the three primary areas of Hexagon mining are safety, planning, the geostatics or geostatistics, and the operations side. We live in that operations space. Being able to optimize where people are going and where they need to be is really, really important. Safety with our new personal alert system, which is something that the miners wear, tells them when they're in close proximity to a large piece of machinery, means that they can still do their jobs and not wait and stop for a piece of machinery to move by if they know they're outside of the danger zone. So we're going to integrate those next year, and I'm really excited about the ability to take our safety side, integrate with our planning side, and integrate now with the operations side today in the launch.
All right, so let's talk about the implications that UG Pro would have for companies that want to realize an autonomous vision, because it's also taking a step in that direction.
Absolutely. As I said before, there were some great leaders in our customer base 10 years ago that said the mine of the future is fully autonomous. There'll be no humans working underground. But in between now and then, we're starting to see more and more autonomous machines where the remote operator is standing a safe distance away with a cable or a wireless. We even have mines now that are using tele-automatics or tele-robotics, where they are sitting in a seat like this in the surface, watching on video screens and controlling a heavy piece of machinery that could be a mile below the surface and a mile away from the main shaft to get down to them.
Interesting. Okay, so UG Pro is a new product, but as you know, it's also based on a solution already proven underground. So let's talk a little bit about that, because it's kind of taking the old and the new and bringing them together a bit.
Sure. HXGN Mine Operate UG Pro is the latest iteration with more features than we've ever had. The original platforms were designed 10 years ago and have gone through what I like to call the Silicon Valley iterative approach of fail early, fail often, get a good product out there and learn from what the customers are asking for. So you're looking at a product that has an evolution of as much as 10 years, but really in the last 5 years, we've gone to things like microservices. So each piece of the software can operate independently. If a customer wants their own database, they can connect to a database. If they want to use their own dashboard tool, they can use their own dashboard tool and connect into our platform. And so we've been paralleling the launch of Exalt, which you heard announced this week and last night from Ula's keynote. And we were some of the first use cases for Exalt. So we're using Edge Frontier and Edge Client, which is a component of Exalt. We're using the machine learning and predictive analytics through AI, which come from a different division. We're using Catavolt, which is the mobile applications platforming. So we're really excited that there's this convergence just this week of all the things we've done with the other parts of the Hexagon ecosystem, launched today with UG Pro.
So who do you think is going to benefit most from UG Pro? Who will gain the most benefit?
Well, if you look at a pyramid that shows that you have your tier 1 and tier 2 mines, those are their large 10 million, 100 million ton per year operations. They're global distributed mines and a single corporate office in London or Australia or Johannesburg or here in the United States. Those are the tier 1s and 2s. They can definitely benefit from Pro. But Pro is launched today as part of a complement with UG Foundation, which is our entry-level product, which is mostly mobile applications, taking paper processes that they use underground for scribbling down notes of how many different runs they made, turning those into a digitized process on a mobile tablet. So I would say the entire spectrum right down to the tier 4 mines, and then we have a product for that in UG Foundation.
So a lot of people will be seeing some great improvements.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what would you say is the future for UG Pro? I mean, how do you see it developing now as it moves forward?
Oh, I could talk for 30 minutes about that. One of my other jobs is I'm the innovation lead for the mining division, so I spend a lot of time going to customer sites and not trying to sell them a product or make a connection to a product. I ask them all the problems they have in their space. And you'd be surprised, there's a list of things that they haven't solved yet, and there are no vendors with a product. So I get to take those use cases and look at all the technology we have at Hexagon and say, that matches up really, really well. So as far as the future of UG Pro goes, we have a 2-year roadmap that includes things like short interval control, the ability to write a plan today, send it to the task schedulers, and in real time we know if that miner is completing their tasks on schedule, and if they're not, sending it back to the planning offices, which allow them to rerun a new schedule in multiple scenarios. So short interval control is huge. Task and fleet optimization, that in artificial intelligence and machine learning is huge. And I'm also hearing from our customers, start preparing for things like undersea mining, because there are a number of deposits that are lower and lower that we need to get to. Conversion of pit mines, because it's too expensive to get the materials out, start building underground mines for the same ore bodies. And then eventually we're going to be off terrestrial. We're going to be mining on asteroids, and we're already preparing for the types of challenges you have in a really confined space underground, mirror a lot of what you would experience in space.
Space miners.
Space mining, from underground to space mining, there is a solid connection to that, and it's on a roadmap.
Very interesting stuff. All right, thank you so much, Carl. For more information about UG Pro, you can visit hexagonmining.com, and to watch additional episodes or learn more, you can also visit hxgnspotlight.com. Thanks for tuning in.